Well, hello everyone, and thank you all for joining with us tonight. And what we're going to talk about, I think it's a subject that everybody is a little concerned with, and that is what can I do or what can we do to generate some additional income in these inflationary times? During the last 12, 18 months, we heard a very popular saying. It was the great resolution, resignation. And I think it was a resolution because a lot of folks made a decision. They resolved in their own mind and heart, I'm going to change. I am sick and tired of playing the politics of my job. I'm sick and tired of going every day on time. I'm tired of them not appreciating me for what I do. And I need a way to generate some additional income. And then some said, I need to make a complete career change. And for just a few minutes tonight, we're going to talk about both of those subjects, career change and generating additional income, and doing it in a way where you can help somebody and help yourself along the way. Now, all of us that are the leaders that's on this call tonight and on this webinar, we know that this is not something that everybody wants to do, and we can appreciate that. But we thank you very much for still joining and to listen, because it might be that you have a son or daughter, you have a friend, you have a neighbor, you have a sister or a brother, a husband or a wife, or you yourself might have an interest in changing careers and getting involved in something where there's meaning and you can have a degree of passion about what it is that you do. And we're going to discuss that tonight from a financial standpoint. We're going to talk about concepts. And so there are some that are on the call tonight. You want to know about ways of making your money work better for you. And we're going to have something in that area for you tonight as well. So I'm going to get right into it without any further ado. This is not designed to be a long meeting. We're going to talk a little bit about the company. We're going to talk a little bit about the concepts and a little bit about the compensation. And then whoever invited you out tonight, we want to encourage you to get with them and after the meeting and schedule a time to meet one-on-one to address whatever your concern or interest might be. So let's go ahead and get to work here. And you've seen the intro. So my name is Ricky Pitts, and I've been doing this now for quite some time. I don't do anything else, and I love it because I believe we're changing, and I know we're changing lives. Now, some people say the reason why I want to do something different, and we hear all kind of things, is that I'm sick and tired of doing all this work, doing the work of 3 people by myself, doing the work of 2 people by myself. And if I could change something about my job, I would change my managers. I would change all the upper leadership in the management. I would change the hours. I would change all this time I have to work. I would even change just the conditions of the job. And I asked them, what are the chances of those things changing on your job? They say slim to none. I want you to know this is a world-class company we're going to talk about tonight. 2,000 employees that work in our headquarters there in Duluth, Georgia, Gwinnett County. And they need those 2,000 to support the clients, which is 5 million clients. They need them to support the representatives. It's 135,000 representatives. So this is not a little small fly-by-night. They've been here for a long time. Now let's talk about some of the reasons people get involved in what we do. One reason they say, I just don't like what I do for a living, Ricky. On Sunday afternoon, I start feeling real bad because I am anticipating going in on Monday. And then on Thursday, I start feeling a little bit better. On Friday, I'm happy all day because I'm going to be off for the weekend. Number 2, they say, I like my job, but I just don't make enough income. I enjoy what I'm doing, but it just don't pay us enough. The third one, they say, I need a financial education, financial literacy. I've been working on my job now for 10 years, 15, 20 years. I get paid every 2 weeks. I get paid one time per month. And I can't tell you for the life of me where my money is going. I need some literacy, financial literacy. The fourth reason is that I just love helping people. I give you the shirt off my back. But I'm just so tired of being my kindness being counted for weakness. I want to be able to get paid for some of the things that I do. And I want it to be a win-win, a win for the one that I'm helping and a win for me too. Then the last thing they say, I've been working for somebody else all my life. I've given them all I have and all I've had. And now I want a chance to have my own business and to work for myself. And so I want you, if you would, there's a little place for questions and answers, a little chat. If you'll put inside that question and answer chat, which one of these 5 apply to you? Is it number 1? Is it number 2? Is it 3, 4, and 5? Is it all of them? And then whoever is invited you out tonight, let's talk about a way to address them and a way to do something on a part-time or either full-time basis. I want to show you now our mission statement. This is the blood that runs in the veins of the company. This is why we do what we do, to help families. That's the first 3 important words. Earn more income. That's entrepreneurship. That's leaving a W-2 world and walking into a 1099 world. And becoming properly protected. Now that's kind of broad, but we're going to drill down on that some tonight. Debt-free and financially independent. Now let's look at those kind of individually. And why is it so important then to talk to families about earning more income? Well, number 1, almost 4 in 10 would have to borrow if they had an emergency that was only $1,000. They'd have to go to a brother or sister or go to a payday loan, which is like a modern day loan shark, to borrow that money. Then not only that, 74% of workers live paycheck to paycheck. And so you go to the mall, you go to church, and you run into, let's say, 10 people, about 7 to 8 out of 10 living paycheck to paycheck. This is why that part of our mission statement, ladies and gentlemen, was so and is so very important. The second part is properly protected. Now, why is this so important? Nearly 46% of Americans have no life insurance. We've all of us have been to funerals or we call them homegoing services, and we've seen how devastated it leaves those that are left behind, particularly when they don't have any insurance. About 60 million American households, number 1, they are underinsured or uninsured, and the gap is about $200,000. Can you imagine a small business? A small business that's losing $200,000 at a whop. They won't be in business very long. This is why that part of our mission is so very important. The other part of our mission is debt freedom. Now, why is this so important? The average American has about $90,000 in consumer debt. Credit cards, personal loans, the mortgage and student loans. And 1 in 3 in this country, if they use that credit card for just $100, they are afraid I'm going to be in the line at the department store and I'm going to be declined because they know they're so close to being over the max. Then the other part is financially independent of our mission statement. Here's a guy, let's say he's 75 years old. He's worked all of his life. He's sitting down at the end of the month wondering, how am I going to meet my obligations for this month? Has worked for a long time, 45 years. Nearly 30%, here's what they say. I can't put my hands on $25,000 nowhere I look. Savings, investments, after working 45 years. Then there's no wonder that half, they worry. They worry at an old age about running out of money. In retirement, they worry about having to depend on some kind of program or have to depend on their children. Often they can't depend on their children. This is why this part of our mission is so very important. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're coming to you tonight to consider joining with us in educating the public on financial fundamentals so they can change the course in their direction. Well, we can't do it by ourselves. That company in the middle cannot do it by themselves. They had to have partnerships like Voya and Equitable to set up 401ks. They had to have partnerships like AIG and Lincoln and Bright House to do annuities for those that have large sums of money. You'll be surprised how many people have large sums of money sitting in the banks, making next to nothing, when they could have that money in an annuity, getting a guaranteed income that would last them for the rest of their lives, that they can never outlive. And then we have this managed money. For those that have large sums of money, they want to have individual attention, personal management of their monies. And then we have companies like Fidelity and Franklin Templeton. There are so many young people that want to have a Roth IRA. They want to set up a 529 for their kids' college, but don't know where to go or how to do it. We can show you to show them. Then on the very bottom, we have Legal Shields as one of our partners. How many of you that's on this webcam tonight know someone that died with no will, no living will, no durable financial power of attorney? What did it do to the family? The kids quit speaking to one another because they thought they should have gotten this, that, or the other. Then we got Vivint and Answer Financial, showing our clients how to save on their car and home insurance, how to have a home security system. Then we have Easy Medicare for senior health care. How many of you know people that want to buy a home, don't know how to get the finances in order, don't really know about the debt to income ratio or FICO score? Rocket Mortgage is a partner of ours now. And then I want to kind of highlight that Primerica Life on the top left-hand corner, because this is legacy planning. We believe this is generational wealth building. This is leaving an inheritance, because all of us on the webcam tonight know everything living at some point will die. And so we're teaching the families how to do some generational wealth planning. And so when they go on to, and they pass, they could leave the next generation seed to go to the next level. Now, so why are people having then so many financial problems? Because most people, number one, don't get a financial education. They get all kind of academic disciplines. They got all kind of degrees behind their name. But this piece right here, they don't have time and haven't taken the time to get this piece right here. Number two, they have nothing in writing. And they're trying to win this game called life without a game plan. And it's going to be a real long season. It's going to be a losing season trying to win this financial game with no financial game plan. And the third one, they're trying to play the game by themselves, calling all the plays by themselves, running all the plays by themselves. Don't have a financial coach. And I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, if they don't have these three things in place, it's going to be some very difficult days ahead. And what we're saying to you tonight, those that would have an interest in the possibility of joining with us and helping us to go out and spread this information. I'm talking about the fundamentals tonight, nothing complex and that they can't understand, fundamentals tonight. Now, folks don't plan to fail. What happens, though, is they fail to have a plan. And the problem is they have money going out of every direction. They got the mortgage and the credit cards and installment loans. That's a chunk of money. They got the 401ks and savings accounts and mutual funds. Don't get too much money. They got the bank accounts for the water bill, light bill, gas bill, cable TV, hairdresser, fingernail lady, barbershop, Kroger's and Winn-Dixie, Old Charlie's, thank God it's Friday. They got all this coming out of the checking account. Then they got life insurance, car insurance, health insurance, and home insurance, and they turn around and they have more going out than they have coming in. You see, ladies and gentlemen, what we're saying today and tonight, this is something that is that's worthy and worthwhile. And you can come on board and feel good about what you do. And as you teach, you're being taught. You see, there's a solution here. The solution is to put some things in writing. Let's write it all down, total transparency. Let's know what's coming in. Let's know what's going out, and get someone to sit down with me and give me a financial global positioning system, a financial GPS that's going to answer some very, very important questions. Because none of us on this webcam tonight, we're not getting any younger. We all are getting older. And that clock on the wall does not stop, does not pause, does not go into deliberation or conversation. It marches on. And it's really important then, because of that fact, that we work work with time and not waste time, not having a financial game plan in place. Now, it's important to know that this is a strong company. Now, I'm going to go back to 2015 when Forbes said that we were among the most trustworthy. Trust is a very important word in everything we do, not just in relationships. You know how important it is there. It's also important in business. Then we see the piece that deals with legacy planning, generational wealth. Forbes said in 2022, and we can't pay Forbes to say this because they lose all credibility, that we are that part of our company, Primerica Life, was among the best insurance companies in the nation. And that's a pretty big deal. On the investment side, this DARBOR Award is a real distinguished award. And the company has gotten that award 18 years in a row, and showing our clients how to get a better return on their money, how to retire with some dignity, how to make sure that the kids can go to college and not have to worry about tuition and fees and books and so on and so forth. That's huge. Now, it's important also to know, speaking about the DARBOR Award and mutual funds, that there are 3 accounts that most people need. One they need to have is an emergency fund. And it's for emergencies because none of us on the webcam tonight know when an emergency can arrive. And it could arrive in the form of an air conditioning unit that just went out. It can arrive in the form of a transmission in the car that just went out. It can arrive in a form of a bad storm that tore something up that you probably may have not had that thing on the outside. That external unit might not have been covered. It's an emergency. And then that's short-term savings for a down payment on another car, for a new laptop computer. It is a short-term savings, something you plan to use in the next 1 to 5 years. But then that's that long-term. This is the wealth building account. And this is your 401ks and 403bs and 457s and TSPs. These are accounts that grow on a tax-deferred basis. Because all of us on this webcam today, we're going to get what they call it old. You know, we're going to get old one day. And I know old has changed now. I understand that 75 is the new 65. I understand that 65 is the new 55 and 55 is the new 45. But the fact of the matter is, Father Time and Mother Nature is working overtime. And that clock on the wall is moving. So we've got to plan for a place that we're going to be in for the rest of our lives. That place is our future. And it's coming fast every day. Now, how do we really take advantage of that third box, that long-term planning? We got to learn to bypass the middleman. We got to become an owner, not a loaner. You see, traditional institutions, they've given us a very poor rate of return. And we take our money traditionally, and this is what I did for a long, long time until I learned better, took it down to the bank, getting the return that the banks pay. It don't even seem like it should be legal, because the return that they pay is so small, it's not even enough to keep up with inflation. And then the little small earning that they pay, you got to pay taxes on that little bit of earnings. So what we're saying is, let's bypass the middleman and let's put our money where the banks are putting theirs. And let's start paying ourselves first. Listen, make a bill to pay you. You are a very important bill as well. And when I say make a bill to pay you, to pay ourselves, we're simply saying let's put some money aside for tomorrow, because tomorrow is coming very quickly. I want to show an example right here of a young couple. And they're putting aside, well, $25 a week each. He saves 25, she saves 25, that's $200 a month. And they're going to do that for 40 years. From age 25 to age 65, you're not going to touch it. I'm talking now to some of the grandparents that's out there today. I want to encourage you to let's talk to the grandchildren. They got out of college, got good jobs, and they can put money aside. Young man came into my office the other day. He said, Mr. Pitts, I have twins now. I have a 5-year-old and I also have twins. And I've got to start planning for my family. So he came in and covered himself correctly. He said, I'm making $1,000 a week and I know I can put aside about, I think it said $400 or $500 a month because he has all this extra money. Well, let's look at this at 25 years old. Look at what they have at 65 years old. This young couple saving $25 a piece every week. That's $943,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not exaggerating here. We're not trying to shoot for the stars. We're looking at something relatively conservative, really. If they wait until they are 26 years old, they wait 1 year, put it off, procrastinate. I'm going to get around to it. 1 year later, that's $2,400 they still have in their account. But the question is, what is that $2,400 that they put off for 1 year going to cost them down the road? Going to cost them $83,000. $2,400. They would have had $943. Now they have $860. Put it off for 5 years. That $12,000 is going to cost them $350,000 on the other side. Put it off 15 years. We don't want to talk about that. $717,000. So the question is, who do we hurt when we procrastinate? Ladies and gentlemen, we hurt ourselves, and we hurt the next generation. We hurt our kids and grandkids. We're asking that those to come on board and help us tonight. And when I mentioned the great resignation, people right now, and this is not what we're doing tonight, is not unusual. People are now having, I went down the road the other day and saw a billboard saying hiring part-time. Signs in the windows around town, part-time help needed. And we're saying the same thing tonight. Come on board part-time. Join with us in teaching these financial concepts. I want to show you a sad commentary right here. Young couple making $3,500 each. They're making $7,000 a month. But if you notice to the bottom right-hand side, they're also spending $7,000 per month because nobody really sat down and talked to them about how money works. But what would happen if all of a sudden he's gone, he died, and now her income is only $3,500 a month? But I want you to notice one thing, that $7,000 in bills did not change. So what's going to happen to this family right here? Maybe she might have to move out of the home. They got cars, plural. She might have to sell one of the cars or let one of them go back. Child care. Might have to pull the child out of child care because $3,500 only goes so far. But there's a way to fix that problem. Now this, what I'm going to show you now, is not a real popular subject. And we need you to come and help us part-time to spread this message. I come from a poor family. All right. We didn't have much. But the song said, and the song is true, the Lord really has been good to us. And in my family, in the small town of Lochapoka, Alabama, I remember the policy man coming by the house and getting that $1.50 out of that little pouch hanging on the wall. Nobody could touch that money. That was the policy man money. And the only thing it had was $2,500 in death benefit. $1,500 on some, $500 on some. And when he died, they left him just a little bit, enough to put him in the ground. It's something called whole life I'm going to talk to you about tonight because the name has changed from burial to whole life and universal life. Look at how it works. John and Mary, 35 years old. They got $100,000 apiece. They're paying $225 a month. The agent told them, if you keep paying this for 30 more years, you're going to have $76,000 in your savings. What he did not tell them, however, if you die, the company is going to pay that $100,000 to John, the $100,000 to Mary, but they will not get $100,000 and the $76,000 in savings. They sold it to you as if you're paying for two things and you have two benefits. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't work that way. He went on to tell them if you run into a tight spot and need to take out $25,000, let's say in 20 years from now, and you need to withdraw. He said, I'm sorry, you used the wrong word. You said the word withdrawal. You have to borrow. And you're going to borrow out your own money. And we're going to use your policy as the sole security of the loan. He says, what do you mean? Well, if you die and you took out $25,000 and you don't pay it back before you die, we're going to snatch it off the top. This is what he told him. Before the family gets anything, we're going to take that $25,000 out of that insurance policy. He said, well, is there something better than that? He says, yes. You can put that same $225 in the budget. The difference is you're going to have 2.5 times the coverage. It's called term. It's the same kind that I have on me. It's the same kind they have them in the Army, Navy, Air Force, or the Marines. It's term. And we're going to talk about that here in just a minute, a little bit more detail, because they're only paying $80 a month for $250,000 each, 2.5 times more than what they had. The young man said, well, what are we going to do with the money we have left over? We got $145 left. Here's what you can show them by joining with us. You can show them how to take that $145 and put that money in a Roth IRA. At 65 years old, you see what they have, $265,000. The question then became, well, what would happen if we die? Well, will my family get that $265? Yes, they will. If we die and renew our insurance, will they get the $250,000 too? Yes, they will. You mean to tell me that they're going to get both of them? Yes, they will, because we separated them. The insurance doesn't have anything at all to do with the investment. He said, well, I'm supposed to have to borrow some money out. He said, oh, wrong word. You don't have to borrow over here. You withdraw over here because this money belongs to you. You see the difference now. So this is why we are coming to you tonight. Guests, family and friends, neighbors, clients, to come and join with us in this crusade of teaching financial fundamentals. There's something called the theory of decreasing responsibility. We don't need insurance for our whole life because the kids are going to be grown at a certain period of time. In the early years, they're young. High debt, high mortgage. But as we get older, the kids are going to be grown. The debt's going to be lower. The mortgage is going to be paid. We don't need a lot of life insurance on the other side. We need cash money. There are two major risks we have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. Risk number one is dying too soon. Risk number two is living too long and running out of money and having to depend on family and friends and programs just to survive. You see, as a child, we were told this: go to school, get you a go to college, get you a good government job, and work for that company, or work for a good company for a long time, and you're going to live your dream. But the question is, how is that working out for most people? And see, and then most folks never ask, if I take your advice and I run on to see what the end's going to be, how is the end going to be? They never asked the question and just took their word and worked on that job for 30, 40 years, and then you see what happened. I was talking to the person this afternoon that's in real estate, and I won't call the name because I didn't get that permission, but she's doing real estate. I said, what does it, to make more money, what does it take to get that license in real estate? She said $2,000, and also another $700 a year, and also another $150 every quarter. And by the way, I have to have a coach, and my coach is $400 a month. I said, my goodness. I want you to look at what it takes to get a license here if you want to help us out part-time. Listen to this: working from home, not in the cold, not in the rain, working from home. $99. Now, I don't know why they didn't just say $100, but I guess it's psychological, but it's $99. And that's going to take care of your state license fee, your exam fee, the processing fee, the appointment fee, the fingerprint. If you did this on your own on the outside, that's about $400. And then look at this. You're going to pay $25 a month, $25 monthly, that's it, for your support system. And I mean, it is a world-class, stellar support system. You get your own website, on-demand training. That would cost you $105 to build your own website. Then if you want to go a little bit further, they would pay for you to become a broker-dealer representative to get your investment license. That would cost you about $600 if you had to pay it. But you don't. The company would take care of that. And then give you software that would cost $625 per month. But you don't pay that. It's $25 monthly. You say, Ricky, well, how in the world can the company pay that kind of money out to bring people on board? Because they know if you bring in a leader and you teach them these concepts, it's going to be a win-win. A win for the leader and also a win for the company. Now I'm going to close with this, with part-time success stories. Here's a young lady right here that's part-time, has a full-time job, but look at part-time, making almost $3,000 a month. And that's literally working about 30 to 40 hours monthly. That's about 10 hours a week. This guy this couple right here, he's a barber. You know, barbers like what they do, but on the side, he's making $2,000 a month with us, teaching these financial fundamentals. And this last couple right here, right at $1,400 a month, he's a business owner. You know, sometimes business is up, sometimes business is down. So he has a part-time opportunity with us. Now I'm going to change gears and talk about some full-time people that left their jobs. And you see them on the screen here, and what they're making, all making six-figure incomes, what they did before coming here, the vice principal, all you see what they did prior to coming here. And then this third group here, making high six-figure income. Now I can show you a whole lot more than this, but I'm not. We got people making even a whole lot more than I'm showing you on this screen tonight. They came on board, joined the crusade, got trained and licensed, and build them a successful business. You see, you're in control here, ladies and gentlemen. And so you can do one of two things. You can keep your job, and the next 5 years is going to be just about like the last 5 years. Now, that don't apply to everybody. I understand. I'm not naive to think everybody don't like the job. Some on the call, you like your job, and you've done well in the last 5 years. But there's quite a few when you say, Lord, have mercy. I look at the last 5 years. If the next 5 years is going to be like the last 5 years, I don't know if I can take it. Or you can do this. You can keep your job and come on board and learn this on a part-time basis and build you a plan B until you decide, or if you decide, to make a career change. You see, what you're going to get, ladies and gentlemen, with us part-time, a great education. If all you make is $50,000 and quit, you didn't lose anything. You got $50,000 or $5,000 as far as that go, and a great education. Number two, flexibility. You don't hit a time clock. You don't have a boss. You have a coach, but you don't have a boss. And then number three, as I mentioned, it's a plan B. Just in case plan A didn't work out, this is plan B. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Primerica we're talking to you about tonight. And I want to encourage you to get with the person that invited you out tonight. Listen, let's sit down and talk about the possibilities. And it may be that this might not be for you. We understand that. We're not so naive to think that this is going to be something that everybody wants to do. It's just not the case. But you might know somebody that you work with that every day they come in, they almost depressed. You might know someone that's extremely industrious and all they need is an opportunity. You might know someone that's passionate and purpose driven and need to get involved in something that's cause oriented, that they can wrap themselves around. You might know somebody that's sick and tired of being sick and tired. You might know somebody where the ends are no longer meeting. The ends are not even looking at one another, not to mention meeting. But they want a way to come on board and make some extra income and not have to go to a job from 6 to 9 at night or 9 to 3 and all these different hours because they want to spend time with their church and their family and so on. You might know someone that's ready to change. If that's you or someone you know, please let the one that invited you out tonight know that we can talk to them and show them a better way. Thank you so much for logging in tonight. Y'all have a great rest of the night. We'll look forward to talking to some of you soon and looking forward to having some of you in business. Take care.